installation at our beloved community center here in the heart of Meadowview. This vision truly started with our former Councilmember Larry Carr, who is here today with us. And he will be sharing a little bit about how this project came about. I remember when I was still just a staffer in his office, he brought this idea to us, and to make sure that we actually have something, an art piece, but a moving art sculpture right here in our community. Something that the community could see and interact with. As you all know, art is something that's very important in our city. We know that art changes lives. It can advance, deepen, and transform our community. Especially during a pandemic, the arts have become a critical source of comfort and strength, whether that's music, dancing, painting. Art truly allows us to process our experiences. It allows all of us to be human, to express ourselves, and most importantly, it brings a diverse community together and ideas coming together. This Kinetic art installation, as I'm looking up, was created by Hoffman. Is Zach here today?
Yeah, he's on his way.
Oh, he's on his way. So you'll hear shortly from Zach. Where is Zach? He's on his way. He's 3 minutes away. So you'll hear from Zach a little bit about this art, but I do want to share that this piece of art is new and a unique landmark in our city. There's nothing like this put up anywhere in our city, and it is really a monument of power to our community. I'm also really proud that our Meadowview community members took part to ensure that we could beautify our district, and you'll hear from our fierce leader from the Meadowview Neighborhood Association, Jesse Reese, shortly. As we enter Black History Month, the Kinetic sculpture is also really critical in bringing life to this community, especially right here at this community center, named after two tireless champions in Meadowview, Samuel and Bonnie Pannell. I do want to take this moment to thank city staff, Megan, our cultural and creative economy manager, and especially Donald Glenser, our art and public places, our project manager, and my Team Heart and Hustle, for stewarding this project into reality. I also want to give a shout out to Zach. You're going to hear from him shortly about his amazing artwork and craft. And lastly, I want to give a heartfelt shout out to my former high school teacher and former council member Larry Carr for his vision to ensure that this becomes a reality for our residents, for our babies, and for our families.
It's a pleasure to be here. I gives me a lot of credit, but I worked on this for 2 years and never could get it done, and she got it completed within 1 year. Let me tell you how this project came about. When I first got elected, I asked everybody that I knew, all the people who supported me and all the neighborhood groups, to assemble in the Pannell Center. And we had a butcher box, a paperboard all around the center with various items on it that people wanted to see done in the district. Things like public safety, recreation activities for the kids, better roads, a whole bunch of things. Shona McDaniels, everybody know who Shona is? Yeah. Shona McDaniels stuffed the ballot box. She brought about 10 people. We gave everyone 3 little dots that they could put on the thing that they thought was most important. She brought 10 people. They all put dots on art, and that's how art rose up to the top of the agenda. But it's a microcosm of democracy. The things that could get done are the things that people show up for. If you don't show up, you don't get your agenda heard. She showed up, she got her agenda heard, and she said she wanted to see more art in our district. So that was my overall idea, more art. We have a driving district. It's not a walking district like downtown where you can stop and loiter a lot. It's mostly people who are driving by in a car that can look at things. And what better thing to look at than something that moves, that reflects the energy and the vitality that we have in this district. So I thank you, Maya, for seeing this through.
To be able to share this moment with everybody, when Councilmember Carr approached our office and we started working with the parks staff to determine what kind of funding might be available for a Kinetic art piece, I think what I want to really hit home to everybody here today was that it was truly a collaborative effort across city departments. And that was remarkable. across city departments, both political and staff departments, right? So the council member office was involved, Parks was involved, Public Works did a whole new public works project along Meadowview that we're involved in our process, and of course our office, the Office of Arts and Culture. Megan Van Voorhis is here with me today. She runs our Office of Arts and Culture, and I think one of the things that she's recognized, and I think all of us as staff also recognize, is the necessity that a well-run city, we need to work together. We need to work together across departments, and then we also need to make sure that we work collaboratively with our neighborhoods and communities. And we've been trying to do that in the best way possible, and we'll continue to do that. I think this is a testament to that work. There are many more things coming. We also have a new community mural program that many of you may be familiar with called Community Mural Sacramento. And in fact, Shona McDaniels, who was mentioned earlier, she is doing a mural in District 8 at the Valley High Shopping Center. If you have not been down there to see it, I would really encourage you to do so. It is just a wonderful project. And I'm really excited to announce that we're going to have a mural here by an artist, Leonardo Moliero. And he has worked with a number of students over the summer here at Pannell and came up with a design that initially was going to go on a basketball court, but now it's going to go on this building that you see right behind you on these stripes. And so I just want to take the opportunity to invite you all to come after the State of D8 event to come and join us for a paint day on February 26th. The last thing I want to say is I had the great fortune to work with Zach Coffin throughout this process. Zach is really a dynamic artist. There were artists that were looked at throughout the country, and this kind of work is really technical and really specific. There's not a lot of folks that do kinetic work. Zach is really a pioneer in this effort from a lot of the work that he has done with Burning Man and other places around the country and the world. Zach has really made a lot of this movement, this idea of movement, either wind-powered or human-powered, to be a real center of the kind of work that he does in his artistic practice. I felt really fortunate to work with him, even through, I should say, a very difficult time. We went through, still are going through this pandemic today. I'm thankful that all of you have been patient with us. And I really think that I just want to say in closing that I really also applaud the council offices and just recognize how important it is to have art and culture that people see when they're driving down the road, and recognize that art does change lives and does just really give us hope for a city. All great cities have had art and culture as a main part of what they do.
I don't really have a whole lot to say. I want to thank Donald and all these people here for their patience. This ended up being a really difficult, long project. COVID was a lot of setbacks or a lot of design work, but I'm really pleased with the result, and I really hope that that the community really enjoys the piece, hangs out here. I hope it becomes a place of community gathering. I'd like to thank Kyle over here for his work. He did most of the welding. He came, and he's a really, really excellent fabricator, and I really appreciate him. He only yelled at me 3 or 4 times as I kept delaying things, and I think he only threw 1 tool. I think that was pretty good. He did all right.
Good morning to all. My name is Jesse Reese, for you guys that don't know me, President of Meadowview Neighborhood Association. I'm not quite as good as these guys at Living, so I'll take and read from a script. And that way I can be real brief and not be really redundant. First of all, I would like to say thanks for braving this weather and help celebrating the ribbon cutting of this beautiful Kinetic art event. I would like to thank the council member, along with Mr. Donald Geiser, for his continued support of the art in public places, especially within the Meadowview area. And also Mr. Zach Coffin for finally having the opportunity to complete the installation. As they said earlier, we had a few setbacks was encountered due to things that were far beyond any of our control. But here it is now, for all to enjoy. I show appreciation for the fact that Councilmember Larry Carr asked me to sit on the committee for the Kinetic Art Project. And along with Ms. Joelle Tony, please raise your hand. She also should be recognized for sitting on the committee to help design and make the difference. And most people can see art, see an art piece, and most people can see the same art configuration, but they will look at it differently. So art is something that is into perspective, how you look at it, how you see it. Someone said to me the other day, it sure would be nice for that art piece to be in motion, even if the wind's not blowing. I didn't really know what to say about that. So I said I would just talk to my council member about that. Okay. As a council member and a neighborhood activist, continue to try to shed a positive light on Meadowview, on the Meadowview area. This art piece will definitely be instrumental in achieving that goal as we move forward. Again, thanks for all of y'all that braved this weather. And again, thanks very much for coming out.
This is a really happy day, not just for District 8, but for the city of Sacramento. And let me thank the two council members. Larry Carr for starting this. Larry always fought hard, just like Sam and Bonnie Pannell, for the people of District 8 to say that the city is every part of the city, not just some parts of the city. And my Vang has continued that great tradition and respectfully elevated that tradition, really, by virtue, because we all have our time and then we pass it on. And the next person, she's doing a great job here, bringing voice to all the communities in District 8 and the city. And Jesse, thank you for leading the neighborhood association and for being such an important, strong, constructive voice for economic development and for community improvement. And Megan and your team, and especially to my friend Don Gensler, thank you for having a vision. Thank you for believing in our city. Thank you for believing in our neighborhood. Thank you for insisting, as you always do, that the creative economy and art is a central part of community building. And as the city's mayor, I can tell you that the creative economy is taking off like never before in every way. When you look at the arc of our spending decisions at the city, we're putting more resources into art, into the creative economy than ever before. And that means that we're going to be able to replicate this kind of creativity and this innovation everywhere in the city in all different forms. And I'm really happy about that. And we're not going to retreat. So let this symbol of kinetic energy, as Councilmember Carr called it, be a sign that this neighborhood in District 8 is on the rise, the city is on the rise. And let's make art and culture a central part of everything we do. Thank you all very much.